Welcome back, legends. What's going on? My name's Kurt Rosie. This is Supreme TV, and tonight I'm going to give you 3 things you cannot live without if you're an iRacer. Let's go. I did say 3 things, but I am going to give you one extra one. I'm going to give that to you before the rest of them because it's going to make sense in a second. The first thing you need if you're going to start downloading apps to help you with iRacing is iRacing Manager. I got this tip from Samsoid Sim Racing Royalty. It has helped me greatly. It basically is a program that can start and stop programs in conjunction with iRacing. So if you, when iRacing starts up, it will load all of the apps that you have listed in there. So this is it here. Manually start or stop any app you want, or you can start all of them up here in the top corner. Essentially, all you need to do is find the program files path of each program that you want to start. Just find it on your computer, wherever it is. For example, my crew chief is in program files 86, blah, blah, blah. So you can do that by hitting add program. You find the path to your application, and then it will show up there and it will give you options like this, where you can start hidden, you can start with iRacing, and you can stop it with iRacing. So when the iRacing simulator pops up, you can start these programs, and when you leave a session, you can also get it to stop. You don't have to click stop. For things like crew chief, you can just let it run continuously, and you can also delay the start and delay the stop if you want it to open after another program. There are a few extra things in here that I'm not smart enough to work out in the arguments section, but there are a few extra customizable things you can do there. Now we're going to go into tip number 1 officially. The number 1 app, if you are going to be iRacing, is Crew Chief. It is far and away the best app that you can possibly have and gives you so much more information that can help you in most races. It gives you lap time data, it gives you pit stop and fuel information, it gives you opponent information, and it also doesn't just work for iRacing, it works for a bunch of different games, F1 games, dirt rally games. It can even call you by your own name if your name is in the list of names, and there's hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands, but you can customize it exactly how you want it, from everything from what voice you want to talk to you, fuel, track temperatures, you've got some damage, pit stops, multi-class if there's a faster class coming up or you're catching a slower class, and yeah, it can give you so much information. It can even auto fuel you. So as you come into the pits, it will adjust the value of fuel that it has made calculations on to get you to the end of the race. And that's based on either if you want it on average fuel burn per lap, or it can be on maximum fuel burn per lap. You can also add in extra laps if you're a little bit worried that it's going to underfuel you. So at the moment, I've got it set to 0.3 laps worth extra, and I found that's a pretty good sweet spot. It's basically right on the money. Crew Chief, by far the best app that you can use with iRacing. Has voice recognition mode. I don't really use that much, but it is definitely something that people have used. Asking how much time is left in the race, distance to the opponent in front, distance to the opponent behind, how much fuel am I burning, average, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, fantastic app. The second app you should be using when you are iRacing is some sort of overlay program. Now, there are a few out there. The one I currently use is Race Labs. Race Labs has a ton of features and has been in the works for a really, really long time. And it has so many features, even for the free version. There is a paid version, you get a lot more. You can build layouts exactly how you want them without having to open individual overlays. Race Labs can show you everything from iRating gains and losses, pit stop times. It can show you last lap times. It can show you fastest lap times. It can show you delta times, how much faster or slower someone else was compared to you. It has a few other features that I'm not totally convinced on. The fuel calculator has been a little bit hit and miss, but besides that, everything else is pretty good. There are a couple issues with enduro racing, so it can get a little bit confused as to the order of things. But if you just need it as something to get a little bit more information, like you can see here, I've got the strength of field, I've got the incident points, how much time's left in the race, and then you can see you've got here the relative actual times. It's even got like by class here, you can see there, safety rating plus the license, iRating, and the iRating gains and losses like that, and all of that is free. All of that stuff there is free. There are a few paid things here like the radar bars, which I actually haven't gotten into yet. I haven't used these yet. Input telemetry, which is also another really good one too to sort of check out, braking points and getting back on the throttle and all that kind of stuff. They have a track map, which is really good track map. It has been in development for a little while and was released only recently, and it's fantastic. Super customizable. You can include corner numbers, you can include corner names. It's really great. You can even like highlight your friends if they're on the track with you. It also has the ability to build layouts, so you can see here I've built this layout here. This is for my triple screens, and this is what I see. It also has the ability to have a different layout for your stream if you're a streamer, and this is what your audience will see, and you can have a different screen for you. So obviously if I'm running something like a triple screen setup, then you obviously don't want to have to show them everything that's, you can hide stuff on third screens and stuff like that. It also has, if you see here, it's got a list of all the series, and then you can go into it. It'll also show you some race times and stuff like that, which is kind of handy if you're trying to understand if you're on or off the pace, which is great. They've just recently introduced this. They've got setups, so I actually haven't gone into this too deep, but yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of setups here now for a bunch of different cars, and I'm not sure if that's included in the free or if it's for members only. And then there's obviously all like the streaming things as well. We've got a chat, garage cover for your setups and things like that. So fantastic app. There are other apps out there that do similar things. Caps, SDK Gaming, and I think you could even really do it with JRT as well, which is Joel Real Timing. All right, the third and final app for this video that you need for iRacing is some sort of a telemetry logger. Now, I didn't know the value of these until a little bit later on when I started getting the hang of things and I started getting a little bit quicker, but I was trying to get even faster again, trying to get those tenths on each sort of sector, and trying to really hone the skill of sim racing. Now, there's two that I'm going to mention today because they're kind of the only two that I really know about. VRS, which is Virtual Racing School, and Garage 61. Garage 61 is completely free, and as you can see here, this is all my recent activity. You can see I just did a rallycross race. You can see here it was like 50 minutes ago. So it gives you a huge amount of data from recent sessions and things like that, and track temperature and all that kind of stuff. Show you if you're looking at doing longer races like enduros and stuff, it can tell you like fuel usage and average fuel usage and all that kind of stuff. And you can see here it's got my fastest time here, 43.5, which then you can then go to, and you click analyze over here, and that will bring up the track map and show you exactly your inputs here. So you can see here, top one here is speed, so that's it's in kilometers per hour, and then second one is throttle, so you can see your throttle inputs. Third one is brake. Fourth is gear, and then the last one is steering wheel angle. So this is great to see this, right? But what you really need is someone to give you a fast lap so you can compare it, right? So that's where you go to compare down here, compare laps. Then you can go add laps. Now this is a list of everyone on Garage 61 who's also using the telemetry. Now, some of them will be locked, and that's purely because, you know, people are clearly doing very, very fast laps. This guy here did a 41.5, which is insane. But this guy above has given us the ghost lap, which is the replay, as well as given us the ability to compare to our lap. So what we want to do is set that as the reference lap, and then we can analyze it. So you can see here, usually I like to switch them around. I like to have mine as the red, and then the blue as the good one, because the blue is usually the faster one. The red, I'm bad. That's how I see it. But you can see here, so he's carrying much more speed through this section here. You can see he's doing like 150. I don't know why I'm going so slow through there. But then you can also see here, he drops down to third gear here, where I stay in fourth. And I probably should have changed down. So, you know, these are the little things that you can, and you can see obviously your time delta here, which is sorry, you can't really see that because it's behind my head. Right here, this bit here is your time delta. You can see I actually don't lose that much time here. See how it's nice and flat? But as you get towards here, I actually gain a little bit of time, and then I lose it again coming out because my exit is bad. So you can see here, this is where the biggest bulk of my time is that I'm losing. You can see right here, it's almost 1 second in this whole sector right here. Now, Garage 61 is completely free. As far as I'm aware, you can even set up teams. It is still in early days, like it's in alpha mode, like alpha testing, I think. But there's no stopping you still jumping on, downloading the telemetry app, and then what I do is I load that into my iRacing manager so that it opens up every time I open iRacing. So that's how I get all this data. So I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff in here. You can see all this stuff here, and then you can, you know, filter by cars. You can filter by tracks. I can see my GT3 here. Not that I want to see that. That was a very bad race, but you understand what I'm saying here. There's just loads and loads and loads of stuff that you can, you know, dive into. You know, we can see here. It's got pit out. I had an off track on this one. I had an off track on that lap. It's got my sector times, everything you could possibly ask for. The only thing it doesn't really have is they are starting to move into setup stuff, but it doesn't look like they've got a full setup shop like VRS. But you're also not paying for this, so you're paying for VRS. There also isn't any proper like tutorials where people actually teach you like VRS, but Garage 61 I've found to be the best free option. If this was good, let me know. Like the video, comment, do all that jazz. If you haven't already, come and check me out on Twitch. I stream Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. till late. I'm going to do more of these videos. I hope they're helpful. Let me know. Thanks, guys. Peace.